Yeah.
Just take one place.
Yeah.
But you can move to, you can get permission in different stations.
Yeah.
There's other buskers, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
One place, more than one busker.
Yeah. All day there's someone.
No?
All day there's people. Depends on the station. It's an hour, maybe 2 hour blocks.
Oh, you got a block, is it? Time block.
Yeah.
People come and check. They check on you.
Well, the next guys come.
They'll come see my time now.
Yeah.
So you guys go there and chant.
Yeah.
And you sell books. You can sell books. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do it in New York subway too.
Yeah, in New York they do the subways, yeah.
But they don't need permission.
Not inside, they're more like it's the entrance or something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ramaroy, is it? Ramaroy.
Ramaroy and what's the other devotee's name? Krishna Kripa.
Yeah. Pretty good. Who?
This the devotee we know, Raj Mohan. Punjabi.
Yeah, they do a lot of books in New York. In South Sense.
Not as before, but still.
They do a good one. Well, most of those guys went to Atlanta.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Most of those guys are doing lots of books. They're in Atlanta now.
They get more freedom in Atlanta for books or something?
What happened was during COVID they went there, and then they stayed there. And that's the Mahotsav Upper Room. Distributes like sometimes 3,000 books in a day. Amazing. He's one of the best in the world. Amazing book distributor. They're all disciples of Bhakti Swami.
Mm-hmm. You're from India?
Some of them are from India, some of them are from the West.
Oh yeah?
A lot of them are from the West.
Oh yeah?
They're just really empowered book distributors.
But it's definitely much easier ride than New York. To distribute in the South State, it's much easier.
New York's a very difficult place to distribute books, so I've heard.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And mostly it's black population and they're very friendly.
In Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't want to stop at Atlanta.
They have that underground place, right? What is it? In Atlanta, there's a big kind of underground mall or something. It's a big-
Their temple, they have two temples in Atlanta. There's the Atlanta Temple, which is the one that Prabhupada went to, that Dr. Swami goes to. There's the Krishna Life Temple, which is like, they bought a church. They did so many books, they were able to buy a whole church. And they have a brahmachari ashram. Maharaj goes there every year for about 3 months.
Back to Vighna?
Yeah.
He goes for 3 months a year?
He goes a long time to America now, but yeah, he stayed there in Atlanta. Yeah, LA does a lot of books, and so does Silicon Valley. Visheshka Prabhu.
Mm-hmm. The weekend warriors mostly though, is it? From
Yeah,
Silicon Valley.
yeah.
They don't have full-time devotees. No?
There are some individual book distributors who are in America that are like the best.
Well, the best was, of course, Brigupati won the marathon.
Yeah, Brigupati, and also Parameshwar, in terms of right now, but Parameshwar Das is, in terms of books distributed over all time, he has the most.
Where is he?
He just mostly spends his time at, he goes to colleges, but then in the summertime he spends almost all summer, like 5-6 months at the national parks. Like he goes to Mount Rushmore, which is a sculpture of all the presidents, the mountain, and what's the Zion National Park, and he distributed almost 850,000 books in his life, more than anybody else. He's actually originally from Tucson. He became a devotee there, but then he went to Kansas City with Gaudaveer Maharaj. And then he just travels in his van as a brahmachari. He's been distributing books for about 30 years.
But Brigapati won last year. You just don't go to colleges.
Yeah, well, Brigapati is very empowered too.
Yeah.
Ganapati Swami is also distributing books in America.
Ganapati?
Yeah, he's in Arizona. It's usually at the Grand Canyon.
That one who did the 4,000, he doesn't do that every day.
Just one day. He doesn't do that every day. But he does amazing amounts of books every day. The Hotzava Das.
He concentrates on sets, huh?
Yeah, mostly he does the Bhagavatam sets or
He gets out to the Indians. I heard he was outside an Indian store there.
yeah, that's what I've heard too. He does a lot of like street too. They just walk around the streets in Atlanta. They go to like pretty bad neighborhoods too, like hoods or like ghetto type neighborhoods. They distribute there.
Yeah.
The Vighna Narada Prabhu, he comes to America. He's pretty amazing at distributing books too.
Oh yeah, he's amazing. He's really good.
And Vijay was in San Diego for a long time, but I think Vijay's moved to Silicon Valley now.
Vijay?
Vijay Prabhu.
Okay.
He was the book distribution minister for a long time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's he was the book distribution. Where is he now?
I think he moved to Silicon Valley. He was in San Diego actually with Bhakti Swami for a long time.
But in the rain, so.
Yeah, he lived in San Diego.
Went in San Diego. Dravida's there.
Yeah. Very nice temple, San Diego temple. One of my favorites in the U.S. It's one of my favorites in the U.S.
Oh yeah?
Good vibe, good energy, good mood.
You go to Canada?
Not yet, we're going to go this year. Me and my dear Maharaj are going. We're going to visit Manitoba and probably Montreal.
Bhakti Swami's area is Montreal.
Is what?
That's his area.
Well, it used to be, and so we're working. We invited Maharaj. He's supposed to come this year. He didn't come in 2 years now.
Bhakti Maharaj.
Who are you initiated now?
Shishima Bhakti Maharaj.
Bhakti Swami is from Montreal, right?
He's from northern Ontario, which is French. He's a French speaker.
Yeah, he's French speaking. It's good. I was going to tell you, you're French speaking, you could go to Geneva. Yeah.
Geneva?
Yeah. Switzerland.
Why they need people?
Well, yeah, we don't have any French speakers.
Oh, but there's a center.
Well, we have regular programs. You know, there's a lot of quite a few Ukrainian devotees there. There's a few things going on. Lausanne is also nearby, but it's French speaking. Southern part. In Switzerland, northern Zurich is more German, but Geneva is more French. So,
Prabhupada went to Geneva, right? Prabhupada
yeah, he was there for a week. In the time of Guru Garanga. Guru Garanga, he's the lawyer. Yeah, he's in Florida. So Guru Garanga used to be there, and he was the president, and he brought Prabhupada. Prabhupada stayed, I think it was 10 days even. And they arranged programs for Prabhupada each day.
And Rajuna Maharaj was there too.
Yeah, and Rajuna Maharaj came there too at that time, yeah. He was a brahmachari, he was a householder at that time. Yeah.
But in, I don't know if it's Zurich or Geneva, there's a group of devotees of Chaitanya Chandra, who are there, no?
Did they change it?
No, just Chaitanya Chandra. From Odisha.
From Orissa, yeah, Chaitanya Chandra. He's got disciples also in Bali and some other places, yeah.
In Switzerland, I met some of them here. So I don't know what they.
In Switzerland, I never met any in Switzerland, maybe in Zurich. But I'm thinking them, there's Tamil people there in Zurich. They're Tamil speaking. He's not Tamil speaking. But anyway. Yeah, maybe he did go to Geneva, but he doesn't have too many disciples there. There's not many initiated devotees there.
Maybe it's a different city, but there is a group at least. I met some of them. Somewhere here in Carson.
From Switzerland,
Yeah.
not from Geneva. Maybe from some other place. Yeah, he passed away. Mostly his disciples were there in Bali. There were quite a few people there in Bali. Govinda Maharaj had been there in Bali. Anyway, French speakers, French preachers are always needed, you know. You go maybe in Paris also.
Right. I was almost going to go, but maybe on the way to India sometime.
Yeah, come through Geneva.
It's that place, Guadeloupe, in the Caribbean. Some preaching going on there, French-speaking island. My friend Gorasinda preaching there.
Oh, I have a friend there. She should connect me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's in Arizona right now, but we go to that.
Okay, so Govinda is controlling the sun. And the sun is the eye of the Lord. It rotates within the fixed orbit of eternal time. And then the sun, it enlivens all living entities, isn't it true? When there's no sun, oh Krishna, it's very difficult. Yeah, we may feel, oh, it's so hot, but it's enlivening to have sunshine. Without sun, it's a problem. But the sun also diminishes the duration of life of all living entities. He enlarges the path of elevation to the heavenly planet, to the heavenly kingdom. Moves in the firmament with great philosophy. Everyone should offer respect once every 5 years with all ingredients of worship. It's unusual to worship every 5 years. Okay, then the Pitri planet, the Pitta planet, as it's called.
This is...
Huh?
The something is...
Oh, what's happening? It's trembling.
No.
Tech support.
You can reset it, turn it off. There's something with the power because it keeps opening and closing.
Really?
When is this?
White.
Last time it wasn't working anyway.
Yeah. It's working. Oh.
Oh, wait.
Connection.
Oh, wait.
The sign is generation.
Yeah, this is moving.
इधर से बंद कोई वजह से
Connection में कोई
first time it worked.
It's got Parkinson.
Oh, it's so cute.
Okay. So Vidura wants to know about the duration of life of the greatly learned living entities who are beyond the range of akalpa. Beyond the range of akalpa, meaning they're above, they're at the top of the universe. The dissolution of the universe takes place at the end of Brahma's day, does not affect all the planetary systems. The planets of highly learned living entities like Shanaka and Bhrigu are not affected by the dissolution of the millennium. Right? So Shanaka, Antapaloka, all the planets are of different types. Each is controlled by different Kala Chakra. Earth is different. You can understand the movements of eternal time, which is the controlling form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because you're a self-realized person, you can see everything by the power of mystic vision. So Trikalagya, know everything past, present and future. Trikalagya. Did you come across that before? Who is Trikalagya?
Krishna.
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 Yes, Krishna is Trikalagya. Anybody else?
Vyasadeva, Narada Muni.
Yeah. Trikalagya. Devotees can see everything clearly that is in the revealed scriptures. Devotees do not have to endeavor for any yoga siddhi. They are competent to understand everything by the grace of the Lord, who is sitting in everyone's heart. Any examples of this? Devotees don't need yoga siddhis. What would Prabhupada say when people would ask Swamiji, can you show us what is your siddhi? Let us see your yoga siddhi.
You can see on my disciples.
Cycle of birth and death.
Huh?
Prabhupada said I can deliver you from the cycle of birth and death.
Yes.
Turning hippies into happies.
Making hippies into happies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Prabhupada pointed to all the devotees and said, this is my mystic power. He said, these people were all fallen souls. They were all drug addicts and fallen souls with no religious principles. Now they have become mad after Krishna. He said, so this is my mystic power. People are impressed with mystic power. They like to see magic. And sometimes you get people, mystics like the great Houdini, people like that. People who have some kind of mystic power. But it didn't make people devotees. It didn't convince people that there's higher powers. Some people, they could make knife and forks and spoons and things so fly up into the air and bend just by looking at them. You could do these kind of yoga siddhis.
Useless stuff.
Yeah, useless stuff.
You said Sai Baba, he makes some ash and people think he's got it.
They can walk on the water. Prabhupada, take the boat. You spend lifetimes learning to walk on water, and for a few rupees you can take the boat. So their mystic perfection is worth a few rupees. Cheap mystic power.
And I heard that Srila Prabhupada did not want to show magic because he did not want blind followers. Is that true?
He did not want...
Like blind followers who are just impressed by magic.
Yes. Well, they say, just like in the Bible, Jesus told the lame man, get up and walk. And these kind of powers. So if you have that kind of power, you will attract a lot of sick people. You're not going to get people, just like somebody can make gold, they'll attract a lot of people eager to get gold. You won't attract the devotees, you won't get people who are genuinely interested in spiritual life, but you get people who have these material desires. Oh, I have the back problem, this problem, that problem. Prabhupada was in the train and the people, these two men came, we want to get your blessings, Swamiji. So Prabhupada said, oh, what blessings is that? And the one man said, oh, I want to get my daughter married. And the other man said, oh, I want to get my back cured. And Prabhupada said, I will give you my blessings. He said, wait, I will give you, bless you to become like this brahmachari. Shave your head and put on the runaway. No, Swamiji, please. They don't want that blessing. And sometimes people would come with the hand, they'd show the hand to Prabhupada. Swamiji, you know this? He said, what's in my hand? Prabhupada looked, oh, very bad. He said, very bad. Old age, disease and death. You better become Krishna conscious. So Maitreya said 4 millenniums, the aggregate number of years of all these combined together is equal to 12,000 years of the demigods. So 12,000 years of the demigods, how do you convert that to earthly years?
6 months.
What's the relationship, time of the demigods to time on the earth planet?
24 hours.
1 day is
24 hours of the demigods is 1 year of the earth.
Yes, right. 1 day of the demigods is equal to 360 days on this earth planet. So you multiply 12,000 by 360. Right? The years of the demigods are equal to 360 years of humankind. So 1 year of humankind is 1 day of the demigods. So 12,000 demigod years, and then the total is
4 million.
Yeah, right.
20,000.
So, and then they break it down for us. Kali Yuga, 1,200 years of the demigods. And then Dwapara Yuga twice Kali Yuga, and Treta Yuga 3 times Kali Yuga, and Satya Yuga 4 times Kali Yuga. So it adds up to, what does it add up? 4 and 3 and 2 and 1? 10,000. So you get 10 times 1,000, you get 12,000 years for one Divya Yuga. The four ages together will be 12,000 years.
And the demigod.
Yeah, time of the demigod.
12,000 plus 265.
So Kali Yuga, 1,200 years of the demigods, multiplied by 360, and you get it in human years, or earthly years, 432,000, the duration of Kali Yuga. So that's quite reasonable. Transitional period, a few hundred years are known as Yuga Sandhyas, conjunction of 2 millenniums, according to expert astronomers. In these periods, all kinds of religious activities are performed. What happened? The Yuga Sandhya between Dwapara Yuga and Kali Yuga, what was going on?
Krishna.
The Naimisharanya
Naimisharanya
sages all went to
forest.
Naimisharanya to do yagya. For how long?
1,000 years.
1,000 years, right? They all went there to do yagya.
We're still in the Satya.
We're still in the Sandhya now.
Yeah,
We're not even in Kali Yuga.
This is still the Sandhya.
This is still the Sandhya?
Because it's 10 parts. It was explained in the second canto. Where
First.
yes, first part. It's 10 parts. It's divided into 10 parts, and the first part and the 9th part are the Sandhyas. So they're very short. They're very.
The first part?
In the 10th part of the Sandhyas of a yuga, you divide it into 10 parts.
Mm-hmm.
And one part of the 10th part are the Sandhyas, and each Sandhya lasts. Yeah, but we're still in the Sandhya. I think it's 10,000 years of the Sandhya. The golden period is the Sandhya between Dwarka and Kali Yuga. Right?
Yes.
The Sandhya corresponds to, I think, 10%
Where?
10%.
of the Yuga. So
What?
Yuga, Kali Yuga is.
Where did you get that from?
This is Vishwanath Chakravarti comment in this verse of first canto, which you're speaking about, the writing of Bhagavatam during the Sandhya.
Oh, I never heard this before. No. 10%. 10, the duration, 432,000 years, so 10% would be like 43,000 years.
Yeah.
In my other notebook I checked, but I think it was that 10%.
Anybody know?
Yeah, I think that's the point that was in
It's in the first verse of the Bhagavatam.
No, the verse in which it says that when was the Bhagavatam compiled, and then they say Vasudev wrote it, so it's chapter 4 or 5. Or
Yeah, I remember that. And then Vishwanath Chakravarti was 22.
When was the Bhagavatam compiled?
in the Sandhya, when there was an overlap between
Oh,
the
when it
third-
talks about the overlapping.
Yeah,
Uh,
then it's explained.
hmm.
But this Prabhupada in other place, he explained that there's a Sandhya, and I think he mentioned we're still in the Sandhya in his purports. I don't know where.
Hmm.
But the Kali Yuga influence is already showing. Isn't it that the Kali Yuga influence is already showing? So, how are we still in the Sandhya?
Hmm.
Sandhya is like a sunrise, so you're gonna see sunlight, but it's not fully manifesting.
Mhm.
Sandhya means like junction.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's verse 14 of the chapter 4 of the first canto.
It says here, the transitional periods before and after every millennium, which are a few hundred years. as aforementioned are known as Yuga Sandhya, a few hundred years. You know, if you say 10% of the Kali Yuga, that would be 43,000 years. And yeah, we're already 5,000 years into Kali Yuga, but here it says a few hundred years.
Maharaj, I'm pretty sure it's Canto 1, Chapter 4, text number 14.
414, huh?
And then, yeah,
And
Prabhupada says that every millennium is divided into three parts, three periods, and then I think it's described by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that the periods, well, at least our teacher showed that the periods are one part, it's that 8 parts are the middle, and then the last 10th and the first 10th are the sandhyas.
But how long is the first part? Are they all equal time? Are you saying 10%? Is it each part 10%? The first part is 10%?
Yeah.
So 10% of the duration of Kali Yuga would be 43,000 years.
Yeah, that's what our Prabhu, who was the teacher? Vamsi?
Yeah.
Yeah, Vamsi, I don't remember.
I'll talk to him about it.
If you have the commentary by Vishwanath, it might be there.
Yeah, I'll look in the commentary and see. 414.
Yeah, 1414.
Okay. Anyway, it says here, in these periods, all kinds of religious activities are performed. So the sages went there to Naimisharanya, and we're told they were performing sacrifice for 1,000 years. So 1,000 years. Here it said a few hundred years, and 1,000 years, and yours is a bit more. Satya Yuga, mankind properly and completely maintained the principles of religion. But in other millenniums, religion gradually decreased by one part, as irreligion was proportionately admitted. Well, we talk about the golden age of the Kali Yuga. And in some ways, some places we see Krishna consciousness prospering. Atlanta never used to be such a great place for Sankirtan, We used to be harassed there a lot, the police. They do Sankirtan there, they trouble us. So things change. New York, of course, is a difficult place. Los Angeles is a good place for Sankirtan. People more generous there. Seems to be much more generous.
Where?
And
Los Angeles.
Yeah, West Coast is helping.
Yeah. People are
Texas is what I found the best. Seems like
the best?
Texas.
Really?
Yeah, the schools in Texas are really good.
Or the schools?
And even just the Texas people are very generous. Seems like. What I've heard Bookish readers say too, Texas is a really good place.
Never used to be that great. The South. They're from the South, nah. The deep South.
But I think the 100 years was referring to the years of the demigods. That's why.
Oh yeah?
Anyway, it could be
Years of the demigods.
100 years as aforementioned.
Okay.
Yeah, going back to
So if it's 100 years of the demigod, then it's multiplied by 360.
yeah, so it would be,
3,600.
if it's like 100 years, then
It'd be 36.
30, 40,000, 40 something thousand.
36,000.
36,500.
Okay. So that may be about right. So Prabhupada writes, people of this age are not very happy. Why are they not happy? Because they're so irreligious. Do they feel guilty?
No.
Why are they not happy? Satya Yuga, were people happy in the Satya Yuga?
Yes.
Really?
I mean, sometimes.
It's a material world, right?
No one's happy unless they're Krishna conscious.
Could they be happy in Satya Yuga?
That
Was DT happy? DT was not happy. So many women were married to one man. Even in Treta Yuga, how many wives did Vasudeva have? 17 wives. Yeah, Maharaj Dasarath, how many wives did he have? 4 principal wives.
Yeah.
He had 360 other wives.
I knew there was someone.
So, anyway, were they happy?
No.
Dasarath was not happy.
Yeah, not so.
Kaikeyi wasn't happy.
Until
People of this age not very happy. Because the senses are agitated more, try to get happiness. The nature of irreligion makes people unhappy. Even though they're not religious, just that the lifestyle which they lead is not pleasing. So outside the 3 planetary systems, the 3 planetary systems are named Swarga, Martya and Patala. What's the meaning of Martya?
Death.
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 Yes, right? The planet of death, right? We are in that region. What about Swarga and Patala? Do people not die there? Are we the only people who die?
Over here it's very chronic.
They die there too.
here, maybe here they're dying every moment.
Here it's short life.
Short life. What about Patala Loka? Do they have a longer life or shorter life? We don't know.
We don't know.
Depends on.
Swarga, they have long life.
Yeah.
What about Patala?
Wasn't there? Is Patala the one right below us?
Well, it's a region, the lower hellish region.
Under Sutta.
Yeah, I think I don't know.
What about Bali Maharaj is there.
And it's for a long time.
Lord Vamana Dev is there.
That's why they're happy.
It's described that in the 5th canto there's the Bilaswar, the subterranean heavenly planets.
Yeah,
People are it's very opulent, but there's no God consciousness.
yeah.
Where?
And it's the 5th canto, the Bilaswar, subterranean heavenly planets. The
What's that?
planet below the Earth planet is it's like it's like a Swarga Loka, but it's materialistic Swarga. There's a lot of pleasures. It's a very pleasureful place, but there's no very little God consciousness.
Yeah.
And therefore, people, even though they're happy, like materially, they generally go down in births. They go down lower.
Yeah, there's it's materially opulent.
I always think of it as probably like Las Vegas, Bilaswar. Imagine it'd be.
There's no sunlight.
The lower planets, I imagine, would be like Las Vegas.
Oh, there's no sun in Las Vegas.
What happens in Las Vegas?
A lot of sinful activity. It's called Sin City, Maharaj.
Sin City, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
They say what happens in Las Vegas stays there.
What?
They say
A
what
lot of
happens in Las
gambling.
Vegas stays in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
That's where the same.
Yeah, because it's a very sinful place. It's like a place of prostitution. In America, Las Vegas, prostitution is legal. So many things are illegal gambling is legal there. It's a casino place. Very sinful place.
But Patala is very sinful and it has material.
But there's a lot of material pleasures there. Like Las Vegas is like that. A lot of material opulence. Very opulent place.
They have places like that in Thailand, you know, the Pattaya. They say good people go to heaven, bad people go to Pattaya.
Oh, so that's Patala. Patia.
Encourage all the bad people, you know, to come there to enjoy their sinful activities. But we have preaching there. In Las Vegas we have a temple also, right?
Yeah. There's an ISKCON temple in Las Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, Panchatattva temple.
Martha.
Temples up mostly Indians, is it?
It's very small. There's a very small community. I think it's just building up.
Okay.
Pretty new.
Mostly Indian, no Hindu community.
Yeah. It's only open. They have a little restaurant. I think but it's only open once a week type thing. It's not like getting going yet. But they're trying to get devotees to go there more. Gurus and visitors. We've been invited there quite a few times.
No, yeah?
My Guru Maharaj has been invited there. I think Mahatma Prabhu goes there sometimes.
Oh, yeah?
But it's kind of under-visited temple.
Under-visited.
Not visited by very many preachers.
Oh, they have a regular program?
Yeah, they have a Sunday feast.
That's all?
Yeah, as far as I know. I have to.
No daily program.
No daily program. They have someone worshiping the deities.
So if somebody comes there, they have to go on a Sunday.
Yeah, for like a week. They do home programs and that type of thing.
Oh, they have
If
home
someone
program.
comes.
Hmm.
And they arrange special programs, but as far as I know, it's a pretty small operation in Las Vegas still.
Mm.
But it has a lot of potential. I preached there before.
Oh,
It's a great place for Harinam, one of the best in the U.S.
why?
Because thousands and thousands and thousands of tourists go to Las Vegas,
Oh,
and they all go to this place called the Strip, which is just a place of very sinful life, but it's a good place to do Harinam.
mm.
There's thousands of people walking down that road.
Distribute books there? They take books?
Yeah, I've seen. I've never done Harinam there, but they distribute books there and that type of thing.
Okay, no problem. The authorities, huh? No problem to chant and dance. They don't see you disturbing us.
I'd have to. I don't know if they have license or what the program is there. I'm sure it's not too much of a problem because of the.
I thought you said you did. You gone
I've gone there and done a program, but I've never done Harinam there.
there.
I've seen devotees do Harinam there. We
Okay.
went to a yoga studio program there,
Oh, they have yoga there.
all over the U.S. Yoga studio.
Okay. So now we're told about Lord Brahma, about the night of Brahma. He doesn't go to Las Vegas in the night. He goes to sleep. He's a good guy. The bad guys, they go to Las Vegas, right? So Brahma goes to sleep in his night time. And below Brahmaloka, all are submerged in the water of devastation. What happens in his sleeping condition? Brahma dreams. What does he dream about? He dreams about Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And he takes instruction from the Lord for the rehabilitation of the devastated area of space. What do you dream about at night? Dream about writing nice essays on Krishna consciousness. Right. Then at the end of Brahma's night, the creation of the three worlds begins again, and they continue to exist through the life duration of 14 consecutive Manus, or fathers of mankind. Why 14 Manus?
That's how many exist in one day.
One day of Brahma, right? 14 Manus in one day of Brahma. So another day of Brahma begins. 14 Manus in one day of Brahma. So at the end of each Manu, there's a short dissolution. You've got another kind of annihilation taking place after the end. And how long does each Manu live? Well, you divide 14 into 1,000. They take an equal time period. And it comes out to about 71 sets of 4 millenniums. 4 millenniums meaning Divya Yuga, so 71 Divya Yugas. And what's the duration of that 71 Divya Yugas?
1,000 years of demigods.
Yeah, is it?
1,000 years.
1,000 years.
1,000 sets of 4 yugas, if you look on there, or if you look at this one, right?
850.
Well, the duration of life of one Manu is about 852,000 years in calculation of the demigods. 852,000 years, one Manu. That's in calculation of the demigods. Or, in calculation of human beings, 306,720,000 years. That's the duration of life of one Manu. And there are 14 Manus in every day of Brahma. So, just imagine how insignificant our short lives are in relation to these time periods. You know, what's our duration of life, you know?
What
See,
is the duration of Manu meaning the life, or it's just they're ruling for that much time? Like the 71 cycles.
well, 71 Divya Yugas.
That's their duration of life,
Yes.
and then they leave their body.
Huh?
And then they leave their body, or it's just the time they're ruling?
Well, yeah, the pure devotees, yeah, they're going, we're not told exactly what happens to them, but like Swayambhuva Manu, how does it go in the names of the Mahajans? Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kopala, Kapilo, Manu. Just said Manu, all the Manus are considered pure devotees. They're pure devotees, you know, they're engaged, they're Mahajanas, they're authorities in devotional service. So they appear, they do their work as Manu, take that, and then maybe they'll go back to Godhead, or they'll go some other place to do more service. But their duration of life is 71 times the 4 yugas. And each yuga was how many years? How many years of the demigods? What was it? The 4 yugas together, 12,000 years of the demigods. So 12,000 years times 71. And you get 852,000 years of the demigods. Right? And you want to convert time of the demigods to time of the human beings, you have to multiply by
3.
what will you, if you have the time and calculation of the demigods, and we're going to make it time of human beings, what's the time relationship?
1 year.
360.
365.
Yes, 1 day of the demigods is 360 days of the humans. So you multiply by 360. Right? You've got 12,000 times 71 times 360. And you'll get 306,720,000 years. That's the duration. And when Manu comes, does he come alone? It's described here. Next text is described. After the dissolution of each and every Manu, the next Manu comes in order along with his descendants who rule over the different planets. The 7 sages, the demigods like Indra and their followers, such as the Gandharvas, all appear simultaneously with Manu. So we want to understand how much is going on over huge periods of time. We have no information. Our lives are so short. So in this creation during Brahma's day, 3 planetary systems
Swarga, Martya and Patala revolve, and their inhabitants, including lower animals, human beings, demigods and pitas, appear and disappear in terms of their fruitive activities. In other words, if they're very pious, well, they'll have a longer life, they'll stay longer. And very sinful, probably be put down to Patala Loka. Go to Yama. Go and see Yamaraj. And he has some special place for these sinful people. In each and every change of Manu, the personality of Godhead appears by manifesting his internal potency in different incarnations as Manu and others. Thus he maintains the universe by discovered power. So Manu is described here, that the Lord appears, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears as Manu and others. So the Lord takes advantage to come and help. And then we're told about the darkness, the mode at the end of the day. We heard about the this is the end of the day. The powerful manifestation of the universe merges in the darkness of night. By the influence of eternal time, innumerable living entities remain merged in that dissolution, and everything is silent. Right? Just like when they put the lights out, right? Everyone go to sleep. Everything is silent. Right? In Mayapur, right? When temple closed, put the lights out, silence. Everything is silent. So similarly in the universe it's like that. The night of Brahma, the effect of the influence of time. So the dissolution of the three worlds is effected by the incarnation of darkness. And the innumerable living entities merge into that dissolution, which appears to be the dropping of the curtain of the scene of the Supreme Lord's energy. So everything becomes silent. When the night of Brahma ensues, all the three worlds are out of sight. The sun and the moon are without glare, just as in the due course of an ordinary night. Ordinary night, there's not much sun. There's no sun at all at night. But even the moon is without glare. So they're there, but they disappear. They're there in the subtle form. Oh, here Prabhupada said, they appear in the remaining portion of the universe which is beyond the sphere of the three worlds. The portion in dissolution remains without sun rays or moon glow. It remains dark and full of water, and there are indefatigable winds, as explained in the following verse. There's winds. Just like if you go to Delhi in the winter time, right? You can get some very cold winds there sometimes. Chandigarh, ooh, very cold sometimes, winter. So devastation here, we're told about the devastation. But what's the cause of the devastation? The fire emanating from the mouth of Sankarshan. It begins in that way, with fire coming. Where is Sankarshan? Where is he?
Bottom of the universe.
Yeah, he's in the bottom, at the bottom of the universe. Sankarshan. And then the great sages like Bhrigu and other inhabitants of Mahaloka, they transport themselves to Janaloka. So they are inhabitants of Janaloka, and they go up to, they are inhabitants of Mahaloka, and they move themselves up to Janaloka. Janaloka is above Mahaloka. Why? It gets too hot. The heat from the fire, from the mouths of Sankarshan are uncomfortable. And so Bhrigu and the other inhabitants of Mahaloka, they go up to Janaloka. Because the fire is burning through the three worlds. The three worlds, Patalaloka, Martyaloka, and Swargaloka, right? So the three worlds are all burned at the beginning.
Janaloka is under Swargaloka or above?
Above. It said Bhrigu was an inhabitant of Mahaloka, and he went up to Janaloka to get away from the heat, because when he was lower, nearer to the heaven and nearer to earth, they were being burned by fire. So he wanted to move away from it, so he moved up. He went up to Janaloka to get away from the heat. Right? To get away from when it gets too hot, right? We get away from the heat in Calcutta, go to Mayapur. Or go to Guwahati, Missouri, Siliguri, to get away from the heat. Right? And so the same way, the great sages went up to higher places. And we're told the seas overflow, the hurricane wind blow very violently, the waves of the seas ferocious. The three worlds are full of water. And how long does it go on for? It said the blazing fire from the mouth of Sankarshan rages for 100 years of the demigods. How long is that? 36,000 years, human years, 36. One day is equal to 1 year. 1 day of the demigods is equal to 1 year on this earth planet. So, 1 year, that's it, the fire. And then the torrents of rain. 36,000 years there are torrents of rain, accompanied by violent winds and waves. And the seas and oceans overflow. Oh, we thought Montreal was bad. Oh my God, 36,000 years, you only have, 6 months winter, right? 6 months. Here, 36,000 years, human years. And then another 36,000 years of, first of all, you got the fire, and then the rain, torrents of rain and winds and waves. So these reactions, 72,000 years, are the beginning of the partial devastation of the three worlds. People forget all these devastations of the world and think themselves happy in the material world. Right? I'm happy. I'm having a good time here. So this is the illusion. We forget what's coming. So then the Supreme Lord lays down in the water on the seat of Ananta with his eyes closed, and the inhabitants of the Janaloka planet, right? They'd all come up from Mahaloka, they'd come up to Janaloka, and on Janaloka they offer unto the Lord their prayers with folded hands. So the inhabitants of Janaloka are offering prayers. Prabhupada talks about Yoga Nidra. The Lord's sleeping condition is also a manifestation of His internal potency. So people think, why the Lord has to sleep? He's God, He shouldn't have to sleep. No, God, He likes to enjoy His pastime. He's a supreme enjoyer. And He wants to enjoy, so He enjoys also sleeping. Activities are always there. Thus the process of the exhaustion of the duration of life exists for everyone, including Lord Brahma. One's life endures for only 100 years in terms of the times in the different planets. So 100 years on the Earth planet is different from 100 years on the Sun planet or on Brahma's planet. We're hearing of the difference in time. 100 years on this planet is just a short time on the planets of the demigods. The longest duration of life belongs to Brahma. Although the life of Brahma is very long, it expires in the course of time. And Brahma is also afraid of death. Thus he performs devotional service just to release himself from the clutches of the illusory energy. Animals have no sense of responsibility, but even humans who have developed a sense of responsibility while away their valuable time without engaging in devotional service. They live merrily, unafraid of impending death. This is the madness of human society. Madman has no responsibility in life. Similarly, a human being who does not develop a sense of responsibility before he dies is no better than the madman who tries to enjoy material life very happily without concern for the future. It is necessary that every human being be responsible in preparing himself for the next life, even if he has a duration of life like that of Brahma, the greatest of all living entities within the universe. Yeah, it's amazing how few people even think about the next life. I was talking to this one man. He was in Taiwan. There was this one Chinese man. He was a manager in a company, quite senior, and he was, over 50, and he was going to the yoga classes. One of the devotees teaching yoga, and she was teaching yoga, and this man was taking an interest in what she'd been saying. She'd been putting on a lot of Mahamantra tapes and letting them hear the Mahamantra when they do yoga. So this man was very nice, and I happened to talk to him for some time. And so I asked him, I said, what are your plans? I said, where are you planning to go next life? And he looked at me, he said, I never thought about it. Yeah, and that's very common, that a lot of people are in that position. They never thought about the future, never thought about the next life. They think about retirement, they think what I'll do. In the USA, people like to go to Florida or Arizona, right? We'll go to Arizona. What about Canada?
Yeah, people go to Florida.
They go to Florida?
For retirement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't stay in Canada, right? It's too cold there.
Well, a lot of people.
But of course Canada's good because they get a lot of social benefits. The government, they take care of them, right? If they go to Florida, they don't get the same benefits.
You go 6 months.
Or go for 6 months. Go for the winter. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Try to enjoy like that. Yeah, people think like that, we will enjoy life. You know. They're not thinking that, you know, if we're going to die, where we're going to go. One devotee gave the example, he said it's like that book, Alice in Wonderland. You know, Alice in Wonderland, have you read that book? You know, Alice goes into the Wonderland, right? And who does she meet? She comes in the Wonderland and she meets...
Cat.
Huh?
Magician of Oz.
Anyway, she came into the Wonderland, first person she met. She said, where do I go from here? So he said to her, what did he say to her?
I forgot.
He said, what? He said to her, where do you want to go? And she said, well, I don't really know. So he said to her, then it doesn't matter which way you go. And so human life is a bit like that, you know. If you don't think about where you want to go, where do you want to go, future, next life, you know. Of course, people are not very intelligent. They think, well, I think Florida would be nice, you know. Some people want to go to, you know, this place, like in Russia, there's a place, Sochi, go to Sochi. In Russia, people want to go to Sochi. It's a nice warm place, you know. And in Russia, people all want to go and live in Sochi. But it's the same material world, you know. You're still in the material bondage. And people don't think about it. They don't think, now I have the human life. Next life, you don't know where you're going to go. And even you got the one Prabhupada was talking about dogs, and said you may become a dog in your next life. And the one young man said, well, I don't think it's so bad. Dogs, they have a good time, you know. They have a good time. They run around and play with each other, you know. They run around all day playing. And so Prabhupada said, I give you my blessings. You know, become the dog. And people, they don't think about the responsibility of human life. So even you have the life, the duration of Brahma. It's a long life, but still, what is the duration of Brahma's life in relation to Vishnu?
It's a microsecond.
A microsecond, yeah. One breath. It's one breath of Vishnu. My goodness, the whole duration of Brahma's life. So people are madmen. They simply try to enjoy the material life without thinking about the future. So we try to make people more responsible. Think about it. People say, oh, you Hare Krishnas, you frighten people, you know. You frighten us, telling us all these things. Okay, Brahma's life, 2 parts, and now he's in the second part. And for Brahma also, death is inevitable. The different kalpas, a kalpa, a day of Brahma. The birth of the Vedas was simultaneous with Brahma's birth. So different kalpas taking place, one par arda, or 1/2 the duration of the life of Brahma. Then we hear about the first birthday of Brahma. We haven't celebrated, I don't remember ever celebrating that. Svaita Varaha. Then the millennium that follows the first Brahma millennium is Padmakalpa. The universal lotus flower grew out of the navel of water. first millennium and the second half of the life of Brahma is the Varaha millennium, because the Lord appears as Lord Varaha.
Can you go back one slide, Maharaj? I was just did that before.
This one?
Yeah, because I was just remembering what when devotee said that there's two Padmakalpas, and that's what, according to Vishnu Shankar, he talked about the Brahmakalpa in the beginning of the first half appears to be the. Okay, never mind. I just wanted to read that before.
Okay, so the duration of 2 parts of Brahma's life is calculated to be equal to 1 nimisha, less than a second, for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is unchanging and unlimited, and is the cause of all causes. So even you become Lord Brahma, your life, less than 1 second, 1 nimesha. And Prabhupada quotes Brahma Samhita to support that. All the heads of the innumerable universes, meaning the Brahmas, live only by taking shelter of the time occupied by one of his breaths. Of course, the impersonal Jnanavadis, they won't believe all this stuff. They don't believe that. They think everything is the opposite from what we say. What do they think? They think because the human being has a form, God must be without a form, right? And because the human being sleeps, then God will not sleep. But it's stated here, the Supreme Lord rests in Yoga Nidra. And because he sleeps, he must breathe. And the Brahma Samhita confirms that within his breathing period, innumerable Brahmas take birth and die. So time is never lost along with the life of Brahma. It cannot control the Supreme Lord. In the spiritual world, there is undoubtedly time, but it has no control over activities. Time is unlimited. So there is time in the spiritual world, but it has no control over activities. Our time is controlled by activity. Everything exists on the absolute. Eternal time is the controller of different dimensions. Never is it controlled. But nevertheless, it is controlled by the Supreme. Time can control only those who are bodily conscious, even up to Satyaloka. And then they talk about the size of the universe, the diameter 4 billion miles. And it's a combination of 8 material elements transformed into 16 further categories. 8 material elements mean?
Mind intelligence possible.
Yes, and the 16 further categories?
5 Karmendriya Gyanendriyas, sense objects.
5 Karmendriyas, 5 Gyanendriyas,
5 sense objects.
5 sense objects, and And the mind.
And the mind, yeah.
Okay. So all these combined together are distributed throughout the entire universe, which extends 4 billion miles. Besides this universe, there are innumerable other universes. And then the layers or elements covering the universe are each 10 times thicker than the one before. And all the universes clustered together appear like atoms in a huge combination. So the coverings, what's the first covering?
False ego.
No,
Outward or
Earth.
inward?
Outward is false.
come from earth. We're going out to
Earth.
Yeah.
Earth.
first will be earth,
Earth.
right? And that will be 10 times the size of the universe.
10 times more, yeah.
10 times, what was it? How many billion miles? The universe? 4
4
billion?
billion miles.
4 billion? And so 10 times 4 billion is the thickness of the earth covering. And then after earth, next covering will be?
Air water.
Huh?
Air
Water.
Water. And that water will be 10 times the earth covering. And then after the water, then next one will be?
Fire.
And that's 10 times the previous one. And then after fire, then
Air.
air. And then,
Ether.
right? And each covering is 10 times the previous one. So the universe within the coverings of matter appears to be like an atom in comparison to the coverings. And the number of universes is unknown, even to those who can estimate the coverings of the universe. So this is the covering of the planets. Sri Krishna is therefore said to be the original cause of all causes. The spiritual abode of Vishnu is eternal, without a doubt, and it is also the abode of Mahavishnu, the origin of all manifestations. So it explains here about Mahavishnu that he's in Yoga Nidra in the causal ocean, and he appears temporarily. He appears temporarily in the Mahatattva for the purpose of manifesting the material world, because the initial phase of the creation is done by him. But that's only temporary. He doesn't really reside there for long. And he is described non-different from Lord Krishna. His formal appearance in the material world as an incarnation is temporary. He eternally resides in the Vaikuntha world, Vishnu Loka. Okay. Any problems with the questions? Did you look through the questions? What is the material manifestation ultimate particle?
Adam.
What general observation does Prabhupada make from the description of measuring time given in verse 9? Well, he says that in the past they also calculated time. That they
Danda. Duration with danda.
Huh?
Duration with danda.
Yes. Okay. Well, duration of the danda. The general observation in the past they were calculating time. There was measurement of time that was going on, and so it was taking place. What conclusion does Prabhupada draw from the subject matter? Oh, maybe it's that verse 9. What happened in verse 9? Somebody look in the book. Maybe I'm giving the answer to number 7. What conclusion does Prabhupada draw from the subject?
There is a conclusion.
Huh?
There is a different conclusion from that.
What?
Say that loudly.
But the subject is summarized with a statement that above all the different branches of knowledge is the supreme control of Kala.
Yeah, that is the conclusion.
Above all branches of knowledge is the supreme control of Kala.
Okay.
Krishna.
So that's the conclusion, isn't
Yeah.
it? Okay. And what does Brahma do in his sleeping condition?
Meditates on Garbhodakshaya.
Dreams of Vishnu.
Garbhodakshaya.
Yeah, dreams about how to restore the condition. How long is the duration of Manu's life?
Do we have to say
72 Divya Yugas.
71 Divya Yugas times 71 times what?
Or, yeah, Brahma's life, that's the Manu's life.
Manu's life is 71 Divya Yugas.
71 Divya Yugas.
One Divya Yuga was how many years of the demigods?
12,000
12,000.
times
So 12,000 times 71 gives you duration 10 years of the demigods.
852,000 of demigods. 852,000 years per demigod.
Really? Okay. And who appears simultaneously with Manu?
Demigods.
Indra. Different Gandharvas. They all appear. What reactions appeared at the beginning of the partial devastation?
All the seas overflow, hurricane winds blow very violent.
Yes, seas are very violent, very powerful wind. What about the fire coming out of the mouth of Sankarsana? How long does it come out?
36,000 human years.
Yeah. Explain to me Yoga Nidra.
eternal potency.
Okay, not very difficult. Describe the coverings of the universe.
Earth, water, fire, air.
10 times each, thicker and thicker, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So tomorrow we'll do text number 12. The last chapter 12, right? Chapter 12. And that will be the last chapter of the unit.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Your scarf is dragging on the ground, Maharaj.
What?
Your scarf is dragging.
Oh, really?
Nice scarf.
I think you want that around me.
You say you know astrology?